Hello! Welcome back. Newsflash, there is hair in my microphone's pop filter. I mean, I have two pets, this is going to happen. But we are back. And I don't know if I can be heard, I forgot to check that. Fuck. Hello. Okay, yes, I can be heard. Very nice. Okay, yes, I can be heard. Very nice. There we go. Double me. 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 Audio chaos. 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 That'll do. Okay, I had to do that at least once. That was necessary. Come on, that was cool. Hi. Hello. Welcome in January. Welcome to, the Black Parade. Welcome to all the things. Why did that feedback like that? Let me do that one more time. I'm actually kind of curious how that even happened. There's no more music, so it won't be as bad. But I'm curious. This is kind of what this stream is all about. So this is actually good to start with. Let's do this one more time and see what happens. I'm saying words. So I have to unmute myself again. I am now unmuted. So I have to unmute myself again. I am now unmuted. So I have to unmute myself again. I am now unmuted. So I have to unmute myself again. That'll do. Anyway, yeah, so let's get to the tab we wanted to look at first and foremost real quick before I start my spiel here. So, person who can see, there we go. Person who can see is going to see that a whole bunch of streaming tools just zip by. Hello, Carolina, by the way. I saw you come in. I just hadn't had a chance to say hello yet. Welcome in. We're doing streaming tools today, so this is going to be a bit of a meta stream. Basically, what's happening is a bunch of tools and things need to be in the right places in order to get a stream off the rails, as it were. These days, it sounds like you need both more tools and fewer compared to a few years ago. Like, on the one hand, there's a lot more things you can do, and then on the other hand, what I'm seeing a lot in streams is that people seem to be backing off a tiny bit from like too much interactivity. Obviously, it's also part of why. No, I should say that differently. It's also part of that is also that, you know, a lot of interactivity can be used to get people banned, to get people like suspended from platforms by saying naughty words or other things that gets them in trouble, because the way Twitch's rules generally work is you're responsible for random people behind their screens halfway across the world. And if they say something bad, then you're at fault. That's usually how it works. It's kind of sad, but that's what we live in. See also YouTubers having to bleep out like curse words in scenes that they literally copy from somewhere else. Hello, Molidvan. Welcome in. Welcome in. But yeah, all that to say, there is quite a few tools out there that you can use as a streamer. Some are very sort of like hands off and you use them once and then they're good for the rest of the universe. Some are not. Some are very nitpicky. It also really depends on how much control you want, and obviously how much accessibility is in these tools. And that's kind of what I want to answer with this and probably the next few streams. There is a fuck ton of tools out there, and I probably shouldn't be saying fuck ton because that's apparently not done anymore in 2026. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different tools out there. There is like providers of things like overlays and graphical things that if you're fully blind, you honestly don't really notice is even there. It's very tricky as a blind streamer to even figure out what you want to do with that, because on the whole, you don't really see any examples of other streamers doing this, so you have no idea if you're ever doing too much or too little, or if what you're doing is right in the middle. I have no idea where mine is, for example. I know I have some stuff. I have a logo. I have like a cam in the top corner. There's the web page is obviously visible, but I'm very much going off what logically sounds good to me. Like I have nothing that I can follow example wise of like what would be nice to maybe look into real quick and like add to make things look more with the times or popular or better in general, and just make it look easier to read and things like that. So that is super interesting. Like obviously if you're going to stream and you want to get popular, those are things to dig into, and it's very nice to have essentially pre-built things that do that for you. Basically, on the one hand, on the one hand, you get battle-tested things that way, and obviously that's good. Also, though, you do get the whole in development is kind of like using Bootstrap for everything. Like people can see where you got your overlay from, and some people think that's a bad thing. I feel that's kind of an elitist thing to really worry about, but it is something that people do worry about. Like if your overlay is too oftenly done, then it means you haven't put enough effort in, even though you have no real way to properly independently make yourself stand out from the crowd that much, unless you have essentially a very clear image in your head of what you want to do with that. And some people do. Like there is certainly blind people who have that kind of imaginative potential. I don't. I'm very bad at that. So I have people that I ask for that kind of thing. So yeah, right now, what we're looking at, audio description, full disclosure, what we're looking at is just the Streamlabs website. The Streamlabs website is one of these tools that supposedly gives you all of these stuff. Like they obviously have their own version of OBS. We're not going to touch that because that would be way too much. But I believe they also have their own interactive thing that you can add to OBS or other things. And I think they let you put alerts and things. And obviously one of the challenges you're going to have is to what degree can you decide where things show up, and is it easy to move things around once you've put them there? What is really tricky, I think, with streaming tools, if you can see streaming tools, is that you need to keep so many different variables in mind. Like for some parts, that's also true for audio. A great example is what happened yesterday, where I had to essentially put all my audio drivers back to rights because I had restarted my computer. Essentially, Windows assigns a certain order Oh yeah, no, I'm very aware of that, Molitvan. Streamlabs is certainly not my favorite, but it is one that often gets recommended, so I'll look at it first. But yeah, there's a lot of in Streamlabs for sure. And let's hope, I don't know, like we have other things. We have Sammy, we have Adam, we have we have Stream Loot, Stream Elements, we have what is it? Stream Ninja, we have Nerd or Die. We have a whole bunch of like things in the pipeline here. And then bots wise, there is Mix It Up, Streamer.bot, and obviously Firebot, which we're using right now. So there's a bunch of things that we're going to cover in these coming streams. And we'll probably not do them all at once. This might get a little boring if we do it week after week after week. So there will be other things in between. I've been making an incremental game accessible in my free time. One of them, it's called Really Grass Cutting Incremental, and it's that's been fun. Like obviously, there's a lot of games coming out. That's more for the gaming channel, but Grand Theft Auto 5 got a pretty comprehensive accessibility mod upgrade literally today. Like that came out earlier today. There has been a mod up to this point, but it was very limited at least that's what I thought. And it looks like it's quite a bit less limited. So that might be a thing we cover on Wednesday on the XerxEX channel. But for right now, we're going to cover tooling and things. I see a new person come in. Let's say hello to the new person. Hello. Josh Skiing. Hello, Josh Skiing. Welcome in. It's been a second since you've been here, friend. I hope you're well. Hope your Christmas and New Year's were good. So yeah, what I was saying, like, some things you can tell, right? Like I can record a video and then do my audio stuff and make sure that most of the sounds that I want to be heard are heard. That is harder for visuals. Like, I have a couple of tools. Obviously, I have people I can ask. I also have AI. AI can be very nitpicky. Like just now when I was setting up my sources for this stream, I had the Chrome page open, the one we're looking at right now, and I had my video open. I wasn't in this room yet, but there would have been like a chair, and there's a little Robin figure on this microphone stand that it might have picked up. There's things behind me. There's like acoustic foam on the wall behind me. There's a bunch of like figurines and things, and it wasn't mentioning any of that. So I thought for a second that my camera was working out, but it really was just there. Like when I toggled the visibility of this Chrome plugin, of the Chrome website, it told me about the video. So yes, in some respects, AI can really help you, and it does help me a lot for these kinds of things, but it can sometimes just outright ignore things that are actually really important for you to know. A great example of that is also when you take an app like Be My Eyes, which also uses AI now, apart from volunteers. You can get a volunteer in, but they also, of course, like everything else, have their AI chat bot that you can send pictures to now. And sometimes you'll take a picture of like a thermostat, or at least that's what you're trying to do, and it'll tell you about the wall behind the thermostat, the color of the cabinet that's next to the thermostat. It'll tell you about a scuff mark that's right below the thermostat, and then it'll just tell you that there is some text on the thermostat, and you're like, yes. In Christ, that's not what I needed. Like, why do you think I'm making a picture of this thermostat? So in some respects, the AI naysayers that say that AI doesn't have context rather for what it's seeing, very true, and it can be really frustrating to get it to do what you want it to do. But yeah, it sometimes is necessary. There are tools out there that just don't work without AI usage. Particularly, we're probably going to see a bunch of them today because a lot of these overlays have no descriptions. Like they will just say, this looks business or professional or gamer or super fancy, ultimate subscription, fancy neon light, flash, exclamation point, super awesome, bang. And you have no idea what it's doing. Like you don't know if there's anything flickering. Accessibility wise, you don't know if there's going to be like things that might give people seizures. You don't know what's happening. Like you just know that it's super awesome, bang, exclamation point, super amazing, minimalist, not minimalist, awesome. And hey, if that's what you want to do, you just want to pick one and go with it. That is perfectly fine, but you're not going to know what you're sending out there in the world. Like sometimes, heck, I don't know. Sometimes I've been in meetings. I've been in meetings where I was wearing a Fuck Mondays t-shirt. Didn't mean to. I forgot I even had that shirt, but I got chewed out like afterwards by my then by then, yeah, that's that. I mean, I got chewed out for that, and I'm fair. Like, obviously, there's a lot of like ethereal blind people who have this mentality of, and I'm not gonna hate on blind people. This is just a sort of a side trail. But I have seen this happen in the community where people say, well, I can't see it, so why would I care what other people see? And that's fair up to a point. Like, if you want to wear a completely, like, terrible, terrible, cheesy Christmas sweater to a restaurant, obviously do that. And I'll be the first to admit that I feel that wearing a suit to a job interview is extremely performative, particularly if they don't expect you to wear that kind of clothing in the actual job. Because at that point, you know you're performing, the person you're with knows you're performing, and it's really just becoming a social contract of I expect you to perform, therefore perform, dance monkey. And that is sad, and that is shallow, but that is unfortunately just how things work, so you can't just ignore that part of things. And I kind of see sometimes that people in this community that I am also in will, do audio-only streams. I get questions about why I don't just do audio-only streams, because, I'm blind, so why would I need the video? I'm like, I'm not just streaming for blind people. And that's something I said yesterday as well. It's actually really hard to break out of that stigma. Like, I'd love to have more people who can actually see, watch my streams, because I'm not just doing this for blind people. I'm doing this for everyone. Like, I'm teaching people that you can do more than you think, and that's usually blind people, sure, but I'm also teaching people that either their tools suck, or that there's a lot more that blind people can actually get done if they put their minds to it, which is a really important thing to know. For example, for people who are interviewing for jobs, I ran into that myself this week. And obviously, I'm teaching developers and all sorts of tool makers how to do better. And that's a bunch of groups that I'm not currently really touching. There's a couple of people that are here sometimes, but I'd love that group to grow this year. And I'm going to be trying to make steps to make that happen. Which takes us back to streaming tools. So let's have a look at the first one we're looking at. This is this is literally the Streamlabs website. We are at streamlabs.com. Visually, the first thing we see is a cookie banner and a notification prompt, which I don't think is getting focus right now. Let's see, can I get it with OCR? So very interestingly, Chrome does not appear to be giving you an easy way to what's the word I'm looking for? To focus that little thing, to focus that pop-up. There is a notification request. We'll get rid of it in a moment. There's also a cookie banner. There's also, and this is, I think, mostly for screen readers, that says, please note, this website includes an accessibility system. Press Control F11 to adjust the website to people with visual disabilities who are using a screen reader. Press Control F10 to open an accessibility menu. Now, this means they're using an accessibility widget, probably UserWay or AudioEye or Accessibility, one of these things. This would immediately turn a lot of people off from using this particular tool. It's the sign of a developer team having essentially drank the accessibility overlay Kool-Aid and thinking, oh, if I just stick this JavaScript widget on my website and I pay them a bunch of money, I don't have to worry about accessibility anymore. This is becoming, unfortunately, more common. Yep. Like, I'm not loving that this is here currently. So that's three pop-ups essentially. Like, this is not really a pop, it's more of a banner, but it's three things that we are immediately bombarded with when you open the website. Obviously, that's the internet these days. I'm not loving it. I'm not being an old man yelling at the clouds about this, but it is, unfortunately, something that we do. There. I got rid of the notification thing. I just said allow. We will remove it from the allow list later. I will say Edge does this better. Apparently Chrome has been falling off accessibility-wise a little bit, so I'm not really sure what that's all like. Oh, show notification is still there. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're not allowing notifications. There we go. We don't need that for this website. Again, really don't see why a website like this would need that particular. I guess if you were using this tool and it might throw you notifications about like viewers or stuff falling over, it'd be good to have, but I don't think we'll be using this for very long, to be fair. Next thing we have to get rid of is the cookie banner, which is at the very bottom of the page. If I were to just tab around, it takes you there. That's not always a given. A lot of the time it just sort of hangs out and you never touch it. This is particularly funny when you have these paywalls that you have to pay, but it just sort of hangs out at the bottom of the DOM and says, hey, you really need to pay money for this. And you can literally just ignore it because they've coded it in such a way that you can just read behind it, basically. It's very common that happens. I will reject cookies because I don't think we'll need them here. Okay. So we are now on the website proper. We have clicked away the banner and the other things. Oh my god, yeah. So, yeah, press enter for accessibility for blind people to use the screen readers. Okay, we have the fucking menu up. Let's refresh this page real quick, get rid of this menu that we don't need. Yeah, so we get Alt-B, press enter for accessibility for blind people who use screen readers. There's a space missing in that announcement. Very, very good. Press enter for keyboard navigation and press enter for accessibility menu. We're not... Wait, do they have two fucking widgets going? Because that's a different notification than the one we had before. So Control F11 does one widget, and then Alt L also seems to do a widget. I think they have literally two widgets. I'm guessing they figure, like, you know, one is not enough, two is better. Very interesting choice here. Big news, get sponsored with Streamlabs. Sponsorships are now live in Streamlabs desktop. No platform fees and guaranteed base pay for launch campaigns. Learn more here. Learn more here is in... Okay, so... Okay. Okay, so what I'm finding funny, learn more here. This is one of those interesting, little bit somewhat contested things I feel even in accessibility land. Learn more here, I feel, is not a clear link text. I guess it is clear in context, so it does not technically break level A or AA classifications. It does break a AAA 249 in WCAG, and it's really annoying for people who just tab around. So I feel, even though this is not a AA success criterion, that it really should be like punished way more harshly than it is, because it's getting a really annoying trend. Okay, done with the WCAG stuff now. Let's see what they say. All-in-one suite for live streamers. Simple tools to go live to popular platforms, engage with viewers, design your stream, and grow. Get started. Go live in hours. Wait, minutes to any platform. So what is it, hours or minutes? They say they support Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, or Twitter, Facebook, Trovo. Trovo is that new one, right? Like, I've seen that come up a few times. They don't have Kick listed, interestingly. But yeah, Trovo is something I've seen a few times. I've been wondering if I should stream there. Like, I think it's like an up-and-coming one. What do they got? The most popular tools. They got Streamlabs desktop. We're not going to like. There we go. No? Do they check for Dutch curses? Non-English curses? Can I curse in the other language I know? Anything I can do that's not English, I guess, is fine. Yeah, bye? Okay, I'll stop now. I'm amusing myself. This is good. Kurwa. I think I've represented most people who are ever going to be in this thing now. Yeah, so I thought Trovo was Russian for some reason. I don't think it actually is, but for some reason I got that vibe. And then there's also... what was it called? Remix? That's gone. I know that's gone. And I think Mix It Up was also a thing that's also gone. But the Mix It Up bot is still there, and it's apparently quite popular. So there's a lot of things happening in Stream World. I know Kick is still there, and apparently all the scumbag streamers used to hang out there. But I think they've cleaned up their acts a tiny bit, so it's not as bad. So yeah, they got Streamlabs desktop, free live streaming software for Windows and Mac with all the best Streamlabs tools built in. Explore. Well, that's essentially OBS with some things tacked on. OBS itself is not the most accessiblest tool ever. Like, it can certainly be used, and you can learn to love its eccentricities, but it's not great. There is an OBS alternative called Meld, which is also written in Qt. Unfortunately, not super great accessibility-wise currently. I did talk to them on Discord, and I think they were going to try to look into it, but I don't know if that's a looking into it or a looking into it. Like, people who do this will know what I mean. Like, it's probably not, to be fair. Then I have multi-stream, broadcast to multiple platforms simultaneously and optimized for vertical and horizontal outputs. That's an OBS plugin, so that's something we might look into when we do OBS plugins, because I have a couple of those. Use alerts and overlays, engage in chat, add widgets, and more without learning OBS Studio. I'm not sure how that's a download. It's apparently a download. We'll explore that one, because that sounds potentially interesting. Oh. I tried to do a control enter to open this in a separate tab, but that did not work. We got a message from a new person coming in, namely Matt Campos. Hey, you're talking about streaming tools today. Yes, we are. That's what we're starting off today. We are going to be doing, OBS is certainly going to feature at some point, like the plugins and things that it can do. Josh says, I use OBS for screen recording. I like it. It's not bad, honestly. When you have it doing what you want it to do, it's perfectly fine until it's not. Like, mostly the thing for Windows is that, listen to the audio thing, I've mentioned it a few times, but there's a couple of other things, and it's very particular about doing certain things its own way. Like, if you, for example, open a game, if you start a game, right? You start a game on your screen, and then you want to capture it in OBS. What I usually have to do is I go into OBS, I right-click the source that I'm using to capture the game, I set it to the game, I essentially OK out of the window, and then a number of things can happen. Either it works right away, which is becoming more and more rare for some reason, or we get a black screen. And if there's a black screen, there's a number of things that could be going on. One, I need to wiggle it, which basically means I need to Alt-tab into the window, give it a few seconds of focus, and suddenly it comes up. I don't know why that works, but it does. Or it just outright won't show up, and that can either mean that the game is minimized, which would also make it show up for some reason. I don't know why that is, but something in the way OBS captures windows is that if it's not fully maximized, sometimes it literally just will not capture it. Particularly with older programs. I've had this happen with Visual Boy Advance, for example, when I was playing Pokemon a few years ago. At some point, I was trying to capture that game, and it just would not. It would just constantly show a black screen until I've maximized the screen. And yeah, and like I said, audio, if anything messes with your audio, it just sets everything to default. And particularly when you stream with a bunch of like programs doing different kinds of sound, you really don't want that to happen, because your default is generally where your screen reader and your system sound goes. You actually cannot change where your system sounds go, for as far as I'm aware. So you don't want default, because default is essentially the audio equivalent of showing your entire screen on OBS. You don't really want to do that unless you can help it either, because you can see, you know, all the toolbars, your desktop background, your raunchy porn that you have open, all the WhatsApp messages coming in. You don't want that on your stream. You might get banned for that. So that's tricky. You need to figure out a way to get all that stuff out of your feed. And OBS is very aggressive about, like, just to say, oh, well, I was trying to listen to this file, to this device, and it's not there anymore, so I'm just gonna not. I'm not gonna notify the user. It's just gonna not do it anymore. And more often than not, that means either I don't hear stuff anymore or you guys don't, which is very annoying to fix in the moment. So it's one of those things that I need to constantly be on top of before I start a stream or right as I do, because heck, who knows what happens. Yeah, very interesting. Matt Campos says, nice, I'm curious about your setup. It seems daunting to me with all the tools and stuff. Yeah, I'm actually trying to downsize it a tiny bit. Like, I got OBS going with, like, that's capturing my screen, my microphone. And then right now, my audio device is a Go XLR, which means I can do and this and other such things.
Hello, hello, hello. I wasn't audible
for a few seconds there, but I can mute myself, I can do effects, I can do bleeps, I can do samples like that, and like that, and like that. Anyway, those are really fun things to be able to do with just quick button taps, but this device is getting a little long in the tooth. Unfortunately, they're not made anymore. The company that was making them fired the people who were making this thing. And also, yeah, a bunch of different things. Yeah, so the tricky bit there is that you never really know if your tools are going to still be worth something tomorrow. Like I'm looking into like replacing this setup with maybe a Stream Deck. Stream Deck is extraordinarily inaccessible currently. That's an upcoming video right there. But what's happening is that essentially the only way to assign actions are the only way to assign an action to a button is by drag and dropping, which is the one thing screen readers are shit at. Where like mouse are concerned, you can kind of do it, but the second problem is that the entire canvas of buttons is essentially not exposed to screen readers either. So I'm still looking into like making an auto hotkey script. I've gotten something that's like mildly prototyped out that works somewhat, and then maybe AI can do it. But as a whole, not a great experience. And essentially, I've spoken to the people behind it, Elgato, and they essentially said, sorry, you can't fix it in the what they say was short or medium term, which feels corporate for yeah, you, we don't have time for this to me. To be fair, I was speaking to like a high-ranking engineering manager about it, and they did look into it. I just don't think they looked into it very hard. Again, that is already more than you're going to get from most people. Usually you just get an outright no. In this case, I did say I was going to review the tool, the devices that they have out, and tell people if they should spend their money elsewhere, which I still intend to do. That's going to be a video on the Viewpoint Unseen channel. But yeah, they basically told me to not hold my breath, and so I have to figure out something else. And I've been sitting on this for a few months because I still haven't quite figured it out, and I do want to see if I can find a way around the problems so people can actually use these if they want to deal with the headache that is Elgato, but I haven't done that yet, so that's still being worked on. We got a message just, yeah. Matt Campos is asking, the audio effects are using physical buttons. Yes, right now they are. This device to my left has a bleep button. I can hold down to bleep out anything I'm saying. There's a mute, and there's a couple of effects that I can press buttons for. So if I want to sound like a robot, I can essentially press this button and then press this button and then sound like this. Hello. That's not really the robot button, but hey. Sometimes it just works the way it does. Yeah, so you can kind of do that. I've looked into it. Essentially, the way it works is you get like GUIDs, like 36-digit GUIDs for actions. So while yes, you can kind of do that, and maybe AI could write like a thing for it, it'd be very annoying and not very user friendly. But yes, I guess that is one way of doing it. There's also a profile export you can do. So technically somebody could write you a profile and then you can just import it on your Stream Deck. That bit is sort of accessible, makeable, but yeah, it's not a great experience at all. There were some third-party UIs for it as well, but recently Elgato made the choice to make all the plugins that they manage in their marketplace, which is kind of what you want for these Stream Decks anyway. They put DRM on the plugins, so now all these open source contenders that potentially could have been made accessible essentially have to use their own, which, yeah, that's not really what I wanted this for. Like, you can already do that in Talon Voice. Talon Voice has a Python layer that I believe can talk to Stream Deck, and basically what you can do there is you can you can set anything that Talon can do to a Stream Deck button, which again, that is fine, and that's great if that covers your use case. But for streaming, you often want pretty elaborate workflows, things like, for example, the effects that I just did. You can do that with Stream Deck. You can also put samples on Stream Deck, but that is a lot trickier to set up with a setup like that, where you have like no access to the first-party stuff. So yeah, that's a little tricky. But yeah, it's still something I'm working on. I'm seeing if I can make it in a place where it's not as tedious and then put it out there for people to use. It's annoying. I also saw that someone sent some kind of message. What? Cyber Doctrina says laugh CWM. I'm not sure what you mean. Low CWN. Not sure what LOUGH is meant to be, and CWM, yeah, not sure. I want to clarify that a tiny bit. But yeah, we are on the Streamlabs thing. I keep getting distracted. I'm not sure why we are here. I pressed Control Enter to open this in a new tab, but it just went to it in our actual tab. So this is a Streamlabs plugin for OBS. Add alerts and overlays, engage with your audience and chat, and add your favorite widgets, all without leaving OBS Studio. Download the plugin to get started. I don't know if you can do that without restarting OBS, so we may have to pass on this one. Let's see, overlay and widget themes. So yeah, upgrade your stream by browsing hundreds of free overlays and widget themes. With Ultra, you get access to thousands of animated overlays and widget themes made by professional designers. Chatting CloudBot. Your chat automatically appears within OBS. Add the chat box widget to show chat on stream, and connect CloudBot to moderate chat, enable giveaways, and more. So yeah, this seems to all work through this OBS thing. That might be something we have to cover. Read a dad joke. When did I put that in my fucking redeems? Okay, well, we'll find a dad joke. Let's see what we can find here. Give me a dad joke. Can Google do that? No, but there's an r/dad jokes. Here we go. You see. Okay. I got kicked out from a Vietnamese restaurant. They banned me for life. That's terrible. They banned me for life. That's bad. I'm like half wondering if that's racist or not. Like it's not, because I think they put a bunch of Vietnamese dishes, like pho is spelled PHO, obviously. And it's a reference to Vietnamese cuisine. I don't think it's necessarily meant to be derogatory. It's a little edgy there. Stream labels. Keep your viewers engaged and your brand consistent by adding custom stream labels directly in the plugin. So yeah, this is all about the plugin. We might have to put a pass on this one for this particular stream, because this is all happening in OBS, it looks like, and I don't think I can add plugins without it falling over. So I'll put that on the back burner, and we'll put it with the other OBS things we're going to be covering, so I can set that up. Let's switch to the next one. Next one is also very interesting, very commonly used. Stream Elements. Stream Elements is also a fun one. Again, the first thing we see is, of course, a cookie banner. Stream Elements is, again, we're going to, let's actually accept the cookies because we might have to log into this. But yeah, Stream Elements is the one that you always hear people should start with. Like if you don't want to set up your own widgets, your own overlays, your own alerts, people tell you to go to Stream Elements instead, and you can just click and click and click and you have it set up in 5 minutes. But is that true? Is that true if you can't see what you're doing? We'll have to see. And don't worry, the tools will get more like niche as we go along. I got like crowd control, which I need to install on my computer and reboot for, I'm pretty sure. So a bunch of different things coming up. But yeah, this is essentially the one that people always start with. For accessibility related, like people usually do this all in Firebot, which will come up when we do bots. But let's start with the Stream Elements thing, because it's a big one. What do they themselves say they do? Let's see. Get paid for what you do best. Engagement, tools, and sponsorship offers built for creators big and small. Get started. Everything has a get started button. We'll look into that because we are already logged into Twitch in this browser. So I should be able to just log right in. First thing I see is a thing. Let me actually put speech through for this bit so you guys can hear it.
Rate 45, rate 40, rate 30, rate 30.
So the first thing I
Button
see
get started. Clickable. Link nut.
is something just called Nut. It's K-N-U-T. It's like the Harry Potter coin.
Same page links from elements.com media secti.
And a button that has no label.
Same page links from elements.com alert sect.
And
Same
something else
page
that has something else that has no label.
Same page links
So
from
these are
elements.
alerts and media section icons
List with 12
that you
items
cannot
trusted
see
by
the
the
things for. It says trusted by the
Speech mode off.
trusted by the best. And there's a trusted by the best. Yep, there's a bunch of circles. And these are Unicode characters. One of them is called circle all but upper left quadrant filled. It's like one set of character. Sponsorship offers, all the things. You know, look at all the screamy all caps things that they promise us they'll give us if we do this stuff with them. Overlays, alerts, all the things. Trusted by the best. Yeah, we said that already. Okay, very cool. Anything else on this first page, or we just have to log in? It's your time to get sponsored. All Stream Elements sponsors are fully vetted, so you can trust them to deliver top-notch products and experiences your community will love. Start working with some of the world's most popular brands. Another get started button, available now for Twitch streamers. Yep, learn more, all the things, video preview, all the things we can do here. So 100% free customizable alerts and widgets for live streamers. Choose from dozens of free animated alerts. Like in the other one, it was thousands. These guys say a more respectable and more take it easy. Dozens. Okay, or create your own with our powerful visual editors. So the visual editor is probably not going to be very good for a visually impaired people. It says, look, choose from hundreds of themes and layouts. So now it's hundreds. I think we're just going to have to check for ourselves. How about we log into this and see what it does?
Button gets clickable. Button get started.
Not much seems to be happening.
Content links from elements of links from links from elements. Navigation land feature main landmark. Click graphic clickable. Heading level 5 connect with.
Okay, look at that.
Speech mode
So
off.
when you press get started, there is a little pop-up that comes up that the screen readers are not being told about. You have to go to the top of the page, which is essentially the top of the DOM, the top of the accessibility tree. And then there is a connect with, and we can press Twitch there. So we will do that. It wants us to authorize. We will do that. It has now done it. We are now logged in with Twitch. Let's see what it
Speech mode
lets us
talk.
do.
You can please confirm heading level 3 update your details. Please confirm or update your details to get personalized campaign offers. You can also edit these settings at account.streamelements.com.
Account.streamelements.com.
Edit required Florian Beegers.
Florian Beers plus
Email star.
icnull@gmail.com. I've just doxed my own email address. That's
Speech
fun.
mode off.
Oh, it also wants your Discord, which is not necessary, and also your country, which is necessary, and your time zone. Shall we see if these are accessible? Let's find out.
Submit detail. Remind me plus add option button. Edit required selected Florian B. Edit lang. Edit lang. Edit lang button.
No, they're not. Not properly labeled. Something we've been able to do since 1995, and these people have not bothered. This is not looking great as a first impression.
Edit lang
so
plus
far.
add option button. Speech mode off.
Because you'd think that this would be the easiest things to do. Like, heck, every automated thing that you're going to send at this, even just regular HTML validation checkers, are going to trip over this. So that they ignored all this makes me wonder what else in the code is not a good quality. This is not a good start. All right. What's my country? Can I pick the country? Is that accessible?
Stream element manage addresses 2 of 2.
No,
Stream
we're
elements,
not showing
my
off my address. Let's not do that. That sounds like a
Stream
terrible
elements
idea.
my stream element.
Netherlands.
Stream elements my dashboard. Stream elements my
There.
dashboard.
We are now in the Nether. Oh boy.
Stream. No objects. Netherlands. Stream elements.
Yes. Very good.
Country star. Clickable edit. Time zone star.
Time
English.
zone.
Button. Clickable edit. Add language.
Language.
Your audience. Top 5 countries.
Your audience, top 5
Button
countries.
plus add option.
I
Button
don't
remind me later.
care.
Button submit details.
Remind me later, submit these. We're gonna just
Button
remind
submit
me later,
details.
right? Submit it. If it lets us submit the
Button
first
sub
time,
button
we'll
sub
submit.
button
Otherwise,
remind me
we'll
later.
remind
Heading edit please confirm or update. You can also edit require email star edit disco click under clickable edit time zone English button clickable edit add language audience top button button submit button sub
Okay,
button
it's not letting us, so
clickable.
let's remind later and
Space.
deal with this
Speech
later. It's
mode
probably
off.
going to be accessible anyway, so let's just keep going. First thing we
Speech
see,
clickable banner landmark button.
unlabeled button. Very good. Does that mean it's not usable? No, but it means you have to figure out what the button does before you can use it properly.
Same page link graphics stream link cloud upload.
Cloud upload. Not sure what that does. Is that even...
Banner 2 cloud upload import link import data from other services.
Okay, so you can cloud import things from other services. I'm guessing Firebot, Stream Elements, Streamlabs, things like that.
2 menu button collapsed sub menu.
A 2. We can press the 2 button. Now this is one of those conventions that I think a lot of people will know about at this point, but that usually means you have 2 notifications or 2 messages or 2 somethings that you can press, and if you press that, it's going to open up. It's one of those things that a lot of people in accessibility discussions I'm part of wonder if that's still the good thing to do. It's one of those interesting ones because yes, for a lot of people, but no for a lot of others, and that's going to be a clashing point because some people want the terseness of this, just the 2 indicates, okay, there's 2 things, there's a thing with 2 the badge with 2 things on it, and it's very efficient. If you know what that means, you don't need to listen to, you have 2 notifications. But if you don't know what this means, you do need that extra context, and you can't really have it both. There is no such thing as an ARIA label beginner and ARIA label advanced or something like that. There really should be, but there isn't. So as an accessibility auditor myself, I have to be aware of these things. Like I cannot just decide that I'd like things to be the way I like them to be, because I am, for lack of a better term, a power user. I know what I'm doing. Someone who's literally gone blind last week and only knows to press tab. You're not gonna know what this 2 means, probably. Like you just hear, yeah, it just says 2, I don't know. So it's tricky. You need to keep all these things in mind when you audit and you remediate and you give like comments on what you should do better in these cases. And it's gonna be a really tricky balancing act sometimes. ARIA for notifications, I don't think so. There's an ARIA notify effort where like they're trying to put a bunch of queued announcements in a way that browsers can sort of manage it better. That's the closest you can get. There's no has pop-up equals notification thing or whatever. That's not a thing. So that they're using a button submenu here is good. That means you can at least tell something's going to be expanded when you press it. But the labeling is a bit problematic here for a lot of
user
people,
avatar
so
menu
tricky.
button collapsed
User
sub menu.
avatar, that's another one of those. Like, do we call this the account button, or do we just indicate, hey, there's a user avatar?
Component.
That means it's the account button.
Banner.
Okay, if we tap once,
Component notification bar frame. Stream elements document.
we enter the so-and-so X component notification bar,
Continue button.
which appears to not be telling us what's in it. So
0
let's
your just
scroll
graphics
up a little bit,
component
see
node
what
out of
that
menu button
says.
commence component notification
X
bar frame
component
clickable.
notification bar. Looks like a design system.
Out of frame
for
graphic
Android
VM dot
using.
icon.
Alt with bracket VM dot icon bracket. Very good.
Speech mode off.
You're just a few clicks away from streaming glory. 0%. Continue. Now let's see what they want us to do. I press continue. Nothing really happened. New way to earn. GrabTap is a new platform that can boost your earnings. Play games, solo or with your viewers. Earn either way. Start earning. I don't think I want that. It sounds very sketchy. Here we have a couple of buttons that are not labeled.
Button table. Jan 20 Feb 20 March 20 April May June 20.
Random calendar
button,
that's just there
list with
for
20 separator
no
favorite
UI.
out of list combo box button Jan button deck 20 button but combo box collapsed opens list month list with separator Z separator favorite Sep 0 follow grade separate 0 subscribers separator $0 no tips yet separate $0 from zeros link get sponsored.
Okay, this is your dashboard. So basically you can see the things that you want to
supervisor account.
See if you're looking at your stats. Like if a bunch of people give you tips through this thing, Stream Elements is a thing that lets you essentially attach it to your stream. You can give people a link and then they can donate by clicking the link and they can toss money at you. This is something I do have set up for Xerxes. Like again, this is one of the very few things I think a lot of blind streamers will use Stream Elements for. That bit is relatively accessible in the sense that you can set up your page, you can, get your link, and then you just stick it somewhere so people can donate. I have chosen Ko-fi for this channel. It looked a bit more non-gamey to me, but yeah, this is also an option. And ideally, you would use this if you were to go into use all the other stuff that Stream Elements offers you as well, which
Out
is
of
kind
blank.
of what I want to look
Clickable
into
banner.
today.
Same link. Cloud upload. Link info. Menu. Scope. Out of frame. Graphic VM.I. Clickable.
So far,
Continue.
we're
But
not doing so
0%.
great because it
Button
says I have to click
0%.
do something.
Blank. Click
and
out
it's
of
not
list.
letting
Out of
me click
reclickable
anything,
notifications.
So I'm not sure
F8.
what's happening there. Okay.
No objects inside. Out of clickable bullet link. Terms of service. Clickable. Not much is happening yet. Heading level
Not much
4.
is happening yet. No, because I haven't
previous.
started anything.
Button. Menu. Button. Collapsed sub. Menu.
So
But
let's
filter
try
menu.
this
But
one more
0
time
o'clock.
just
Play
with
AD
the,
button.
Screen reader key hook bypass.
Skip alert button. Mute alerts button. Skip alert. Mute alert. Pause alerts button. Tips property page.
Here you can like turn all your alerts off and
Mute
on.
pause property
Yes, you
page.
can see your
Application.
tips, you can see all
Tips
your
property
stuff.
page. Combo box amount collapsed. Tips menu button collapsed. List. Get sponsored link. Combo box month collapse button. Table. Deck na og jun may Mart Feb Jan 20
Here is
button.
that picker for what month
Button.
you
Start
want to
earning
see,
button.
and then here there is
Button.
a
Continue button. But stream element. Start earning button. Scope banner landmark.
Oops.
Button. Button. Scope of stream elements. My
I
dashboard document.
accidentally closed the tutorial. Can we get it back? Let's see. Let's refresh
Stream
the
elements.
page.
Clickable button. Graph button. Earn either but graph but button. Button Jan 2020. But graphic grab tab footer. Button.
Okay, let's get rid of
Stream
the
L separ
graph
0
tab
from link
thing.
get from 0 separ no tips yet 0 dot separ subscribe 0 separate grade combo box kill button Jan 20 deck na accept og jump app muff Jan button clickable banner landmark user avatar
Oh
graph
no,
3
we got
menu
rid of the tutorial. Oh no, what are we gonna
Button.
do now?
3 menu
what's in
button
the,
stream
we have a new
elements
notification. Is it there?
table list get more out of the activity
Get more
feed never
activity-
miss another
activity
tip
feed.
sub
Never
or
miss
follow with
another tip, sub, or follow with the new activity feed. To try it out, visit the activity feed on your dashboard and click on the green button at the top of the page that says Update Now.
based on your feedback
Based on your feedback, we made some changes to our new activity feed experience. Apparently, people didn't like it as much as people thought. Bigger and brighter text. Ability to mark event as red. Clickable account thumbnails. Check it out. No. That's the second one. And then
meet your new announcement
meet your new announcement center. Here you will get the latest information about all the so many things. And they're all from more than a week ago, so I'm not sure why
Clickable
we had 2 at first and now we have 3.
stream
For some
elements
reason, one of them
address and
came
search
in
bar book
later.
stream element cloud
Very
upload 3 menu
interesting.
button
Can
collapse
we,
user avatar graphic click Jan 2020
get
but
to the alerts and
clickable
things. I want to see how accessible
user avatar
that
menu
bit is.
user avatar IC
I
no
will say these menus aren't bad. Like you can arrow through them. You can see like the thing is you don't have to go like OCR or
Import 2 of
anything,
7.
which is already a lot more than I was expecting.
English sub menu
We
3
can
of 6 switch
import,
to
we
light
can
mode
change
4
the
of 7
language set
download
to
ground
light
control
mode,
5
we
of
can
7
Download ground control, whatever
download
that is.
se.live 6 of 7
We can download se.live.
Log out 7
we
of
can
7.
log out.
down user avatar IC no owner 1
So
of
it's not in this menu. Okay.
clickable banner landmark button same page link graphics stream elements link cloud upload link import menu button collapsed sub menu 3 menu button collapsed sub menu graphics component node out of frame graphic VM clickable button Jan 2020 button graphic click button feb button mar button deck button
Can we
Jan
get rid of
button
this calendar as well?
button Jan
No,
combo
that's
box
always
collab
there,
list with
okay.
22 item
Very
separator
interesting.
0
So far,
followers
not super
grade
impressed.
separator
Not terribly disgusted either. It's
0
okay.
separ $0
It's not great.
tips menu button collapsed combo box collapsed tips
does
menu
this
tips
do?
people tips 1 of 7 followers 2 of 7 subscribers 3 of 7
Okay, so I can set this to tips,
bits 4
followers,
of 7
subscribers,
grades 5 of 7
bits,
redemption 6 of 7
raids,
merch 7 of
redemptions,
7
and merch. It's not labeled, so
Stream
you only
element.
have to guess what this does. I'm assuming it's like a sort
list with 22 items bits
or a filter of
out
some
of combo
kind.
clickable
Right now
application
it says nothing either way because we have
application
nothing
application
that we're doing anything with. Okay, we have a
blank clickable pause alerts button mute alerts but click blank
thing
combo
here.
menu but list with 22 items bit out of list menu button
lets
collapse
us do
clickable combo box click
the
application
pause things.
0
Actually,
1 2 3
no,
4
that's a graphic.
Jan
That's like a
18
graph.
no
for
no
the
no no
things
no
you've
no
seen.
next
It's actually kind of helpful that that's an application. You just
Clickable
can
button,
skip
pause
past it,
alerts.
you don't need to see it.
button mute
You can
alerts
pause alerts,
Button,
mute
skip alert.
alerts, skip
clickable button
alert.
unavailable play next clickable button 0 o'clock
You can
PLAYAD
alert- Can we play
L,
an
L.
ad? If I press this button, it'll play an ad. Let's not do that.
clickable button unavailable menu button collapsed sub menu filter
And then here's a
Menu
filter
button,
for
collapsed
yet something
sub-menu.
else. Like this is very badly labeled. So
Heading
far,
level
I'm
4,
not
not
super
much is happening
impressed
yet.
about this yet.
activity from your stream will be shown here in real time bot settings graphic Bible thumb
Okay, so we have a Bible thumb all
The bot is
emoji
currently
for
not in
this
your
thing.
chat.
The bot is currently not in
Button
your
join.
chat.
button unavailable mute
We can join it, I
Quick
suppose,
settings.
but we're not going to because there's no reason for it yet. We have quick
edit
settings
so meta
up here. What
and
we
not
got
the dumb
here?
Facebook kind
So
let's stream
meta.
without
And-
streaming
okay, you can change
Quick
your
settings.
title here.
edit so meta
Again, there's no like programmatic label for this edit field for the title. I know it's the title because that's what I put.
stream clickable edit just chatting enter a category button update.
You can change the category, change your title. I can do this on the Twitch dashboard too, so I'm not really sure why
Clickable
this
list
is
with 6 items.
necessarily
Links from
here,
element
but
graphic.
yeah.
Links from elements graphic. Links out of list crafted with favorite.
Crafted with favorite.
Unlabeled graphic logo. Copyright all rights reserved. List with 3 items. Bullet link contact us.
Yeah,
bullet
sorry,
link bullet
this
out
is
of
not
link out
very
of list
good.
applicable notifications.
It really is
F8.
not.
No net out of lang.
So would I use this as a streamer? No, probably not. Like I might set up a page for donations. Honestly, I think 2 people in the 3 years I've streamed have hit the donation button on Xerxiax. That actually triggered the stream elements thing. I don't think anyone ever like really touches it. I'm sure with bigger streamers that's more common. For me, it's not. I'm not popular enough of a streamer. People don't like me enough.
Speech mode off.
But yeah, this is stream elements. Honestly, not very impressed. It's pretty shit. Sorry. Goodbye. So this is an interesting question. On the one hand, I just dismissed a really commonly used tool. Stream elements is something a lot of people use, and I just decided it's not going to be worth doing. I always say, like in my own professional circles, but also just on social media and things, I always say that I don't believe in blind specific tools if there is a non-blind specific tool to use. I say that because of a number of reasons. For one, if you run into issues, you're just going to find a lot more documentation, a lot more people having run into maybe the same problem if you're using something that somebody else is already using. If you're using someone that Joe down the block who's also blind wrote, you're not going to have that. I'm sorry, you're just not. Joe down the block might also at some point decide they're not going to work on the tool anymore. A lot of the tools that establish themselves as being tools have a team behind them, not just a single person. Even open source tools generally have a number of maintainers. If you're just one person maintaining one tool, I feel bad for you because that's a shit amount of pressure you're under. Don't do that to yourself. Try to at least divvy that out a tiny bit so you're not the only person that's constantly having to deal with users. But even if someone gets hit by a bus, the tool isn't going to just disappear. Unfortunately, with accessibility tools, it's really common for a tool to be maintained by 1, maybe 2 people at once. We see this, for example, in Slint, the Slackware distribution for blind people that was maintained by, I think, mostly a person from France who unfortunately died a few days ago. And I don't know if that tool is going to keep on existing. I know there's a couple of other people working on it with him, but it's gone. And now if something falls over and doesn't work anymore, who's going to update it? That's tricky. And if you have professional tools that your income depends on, in my case, that's not the case. But if you are streaming for a living, that will be the case for you. You quite honestly can't have that happen. You can't just have a tool fall away from under you because you need that tool to get your work done. That's one reason why I don't necessarily feel comfortable switching to Linux full-time as well. I have seen it fall over too many times to trust that it's going to continue being accessible. Yes, it's improving right now. No, it hasn't for 30 years. I don't really necessarily believe that it's going to keep doing that because their track record just isn't very good about accessibility currently. That's shit for the people who are really, really, really trying very hard right now. But that's also true. And unfortunately, I can't change the past. I'm not going to give them shit for not having done something before, but I will admit that I don't feel comfortable switching to a Linux distribution for all my stuff because I need stuff to work. And I can't just have things not work anymore because someone up the chain who didn't know about accessibility decided they had a really good idea and knocked everything down. Because that happens pretty commonly. The next one is, well, we just looked at Streamlabs. That's going to be next. That's going to be another time. So not Streamlabs. What else do we have? Sound alerts. Sound alerts is a fun one. Sound alerts is one of those extensions I feel that grew a little bit too big for their bridges. They used to be just that, sound alerts. They would play sound effects in your streams, and they still do that. But they do an awful lot of other things now too. I believe you can even get donations through sound alerts now. So we'll have to dig into what these people do. Again, first obligatory thing is the cookie thing, I'm sure. We respect your privacy. No, you don't. The Sound Alerts website uses cookies. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Let's accept because we do need to log into this, I feel. Let's have a look at what we got here. We got navigation toggle. We got a bunch of different things. Let's actually make sure we're maximized here. Yeah. Unleash your stream's full potential with sound alerts. Set up and manage your streaming alerts, tips, scenes, overlays, animations, and sounds via the Sound Alerts dashboard. See what I mean? Like, Sound Alerts was just that, but now it's essentially a Stream Elements competitor, which is good for us because it means if it's accessible, we can use this instead of Stream Alerts, Streamlabs, Stream Elements. F***ing hell, Stream Elements. Okay, there we go. What do we see here? Revenue booster. Increase your streaming income with our tipping page and interactive. Why did I get a different accent all of a sudden? All right. Yeah, revenue booster. Essentially very standard homepage. Can we get in? Can we log in somehow? Let's see. Navigation, please. Features, blog, about. Let's just go straight to the actual dashboard. Like, we don't need to see the marketing for all of these. Dashboard. Welcome to Sound Alerts. Hello. Log in with Twitch. Okay. Authorize. Here we go again. I need to put my email address in again. Let's see. And there's Sound Alerts. Look at that. Welcome to Sound Alerts. Yeah, we just did this. By logging in, you agree to our terms. Follow us. No, I just want to log in. I thought we already did this just now. Let's try it again. Oh, okay. There's something below there. It says, yes, I'd like to receive updates about Sound Alerts products and services via email. Yes, I've read, understood, and accept the terms of service and privacy policy. So these are not. Why is that grayed out? Oh, because that. Yeah. Okay. So both of these. Let me show you something.
Speech return but home login with Twitch terms link Discord link Instagram X link YouTube TikTok LinkedIn copyright bullet angle terms of privacy yes home Sound Alerts document yes I read understand and accept the terms of service and privacy policy checkbox not checked.
There's something odd about these checkboxes. For some reason, I didn't think they were going to show up in keyboard navigation. They do seem to get some kind of lazy loaded roll at it when you land on them with the keyboard, because I was not seeing that as a checkbox.
Clickable yes.
And I couldn't see state in browse mode. I still can't. I can see it when I'm on there with focus mode.
Checked.
But I can't see it in browse mode for some reason. The difference is that browse mode is what you would use to read a document, and focus mode is what you use to fill in a form.
Continue.
This is technically both because you're reading a page and you want to just continue. There's no form fields as of yet, but yeah, you wouldn't see the state checked or unchecked for these boxes if you were just going to be reading it. So you have to tab around and then find it. Let me try something actually. If I am not
clickable, continue blank.
Yeah,
blank.
see,
blank.
I'm in browse mode right now, and I'm
blank.
shift tabbing between these.
Blank.
Or all browse mode, virtual cursor, whatever you want to call it.
Blank.
JAWS cursor.
Blank.
And
Blank.
tabbing between us just says blank. I
Blank.
can see on the Braille display what's happening, but the speech for some reason is not having a great time with this one.
Blank.
So something
Blank.
interesting is happening
Not
with
checked.
these checkboxes. If you're in focus mode,
Home Sound Alert
like
home
that,
yes I read
then you're fine. So this is one of those interesting ones
Checked.
where if you tab, you're not going to find this problem because this is only happening for screen readers in browse mode. If you don't tab in focus mode, you're never going to know there's a solution to the problem. This is one of those things that I feel is way too little information on. Using a screen reader in an efficient manner as opposed to just getting it to work for you. No one's covering that. Like, I know there's like webinars that Freedom Science Fiction is doing that cover little bits of this, but no one is really covering a really sort of high level proficiency power user screen reader thing. And I've been playing with the idea of making my own thing on that. I just haven't yet. But yeah, let's continue on to the next
bullet term copyright
whatever
20
this
LinkedIn
is.
link
By pressing continue, you
TikTok
just
link
lost the continue
link copy
button.
bullet English last up terms of right yes continue button
There.
home speech
All right,
speech
let's
mode
see
off
what it wants us to do next. We're no longer on that welcome page. We're now on the dashboard. Let's listen
Speech
to the
mode
first
talk.
thing we see.
list button button, 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 list, link, link, button, upgrade to premium, upgrade to
Don't you just love this? Like, can you tell that streamers are not thought of as being, potentially screen reader users when people make these kinds of tools? Again, this doesn't mean you can't use this website. You can. It just means you have to spend more time learning what all these buttons do, and you can't find them quickly in a pinch when you want to change something rapidly. Like, I don't know what all these do.
Visited same page list with 8 items, button, 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 button. No objects inside.
There's no real things. They're just icons. The one good thing about this is that this is a website, so the buttons, for lack of a better term, do have a way of being reached. You just can't tell what they do until you press them. And then these links,
out of list, clickable link feedback dot clickable button.
You can
clickable
kind of
link
tell,
feedback.
because this says feedback.soundalerts.com. Sometimes the browser and the screen reader try to work together to guess where a link is going to go. That's what we're seeing here. This first link is
clickable
feedback.
link support.soundalerts.
Second one is support.
Clickable button. Out of list link button, upgrade to premium.
And then we get to the premium one that we just saw. So yeah, right off the bat, bunch of different buttons that were not accessible and 2 checkboxes that you could not properly line on with tab, while also knowing what you're doing with the screen reader. The sad part about this is that it took me 5 minutes to find these. I'm pretty sure if you run an automated accessibility checker on this, Wave, Axe, call one out, they would flag this too, and it's 5 seconds to fix. Heck, you could put an ARIA label. I won't even mind if you put an ARIA label. You haven't done that in this case. Literally nothing is here. We were not expected to ever get here as screen reader users.
Button IC null.
All right, let's see what else is on this page. Account settings. Okay, news. Your Sound Alerts 2025 recap is here. I find that very interesting given I've never been here before with this account, but we can view my recap with non-existent information in. Hey, I see null. Welcome to Sound Alerts. Thank you. We will show you how to get started with Sound Alerts. Well, that's very helpful. We can skip setup or we can not do that. First steps. Heading 6. That's not what headings are for. You need to use them hierarchically. Okay. Followed by heading 4. Follow our installation guide. YouTube video player. No, we're not going to look at a video. Thank you very much. Can we read? Setup guide. Yes. Okay. Follow these steps to complete your onboarding. Implement browser source. Install extension. Manage alerts. Create a new browser source in your broadcasting software and copy this browser source URL into the URL field. I hope they hit that for security's sake. Yes, they did. Okay, very good. So I have copied it to my clipboard just now. Let's do it. Let's add it to OBS. That I can do without closing OBS down. So we can add an alert.
Speech
Why
mode.
not?
Audio input.
We'll add a
audio
browser
input capture.
source.
Browser. Ops 32.0.4.
We'll call it Sound Alerts.
Sound.
I see null.
Sources window.
Because I believe we
drop
already
defaults
have
button
a
net group
Sound
local
Alerts
edit
in
selected.
this scene. We'll have to check that in a minute.
Spin button 800. Spin button 600.
I'm
Control audio
not
via
sure
ops.
how
Use
big
custom
they
frame
want
rate
to. Let's see if
checkbox
they
not
say
checked.
that in a minute.
Edit body background
But
color.
let's see.
0 0. Use cut spin height. Spin width. Edit HURL. Edit HTTP. Edit. Left click.
URL
Edit
that they
HT. Local file
want
checkbox. Edit select.
is this one, which I will
HT.
reasonably
Local proof.
add.
Cancel
Well, you
button.
guys can't see this anyway, it's fine.
The proof local file check. Edit select.
So I've put the sound alerts in this
Load proof
scene.
defaults button.
We're going
Cancel.
to
OK
add
button.
the
Enter.
source.
Ops
Pops
32.0.4.
up
Profile.
right
IC null. Scenes. Untitled window. Sources window. List.
Yeah.
Cam not
I
select. Op
figured
sources
as much.
window.
Okay, so
List.
right now
Cam not
the
selected.
browser
Viewer
source is
attack.
covering my entire thing. So I'm going to need to move this down.
List toolbar. Add button. Remove properties button. No move up button. Move down button. Button. Left. 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 Click. Sound alerts. Musics. Sound alerts. IC null. Tanja IC. Ignore logo. Restrict firebot. Viewer. Cam. Sound charity. Sound alerts.
So yeah, let's get rid of
Confirm.
that
Remove
one.
dialog. Are you yes
Because
button.
that's the
Enter.
wrong
Ops
sound
30.
alerts for this
Scenes
channel.
window. Sort.
For this scene, rather.
Charity. Sound alerts. IC null.
And this is the new one that we just created. Okay, let's see if they tell us how
Sound
big to
alerts.
make this. It doesn't really
Home.
matter, but
Speech
I'm
mode off.
curious. Important for desktop usage. Copy and paste the Sound Alerts browser source to your other scenes instead of creating a new browser source for each of your scenes. Browser's URL contains sensitive information. Do not share it. Okay. I accidentally revealed my browser. Okay, so yeah, that can happen. Your browser source is online. That's true. Play a test alert to check if it's working correctly. Okay, play.
Hey, kappa, kappa, hey, kappa, kappa, hey.
I still use the same one. I love it. Well, I could hear that. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that, but the sound bit's working. Next. Okay, we're done with that. Very cool. Let's make it a bit bigger. It's a bit small right now. Let's just... Very good. Yeah, let's make this bigger. Let's make it, I don't know, just make it the full width of the screen. Maybe we'll make it smaller later. There. So yeah, this so far is working. Like, it's not great, but you can get started with it. The tutorial is doable so far. That's a good start. Follow these steps to complete your onboarding. Okay, implement browser source. We did that. Install the extension, manage alerts. Okay. Activate our Twitch extension. Optionally install the Sound Alerts extension on your Twitch manager and provide your viewers the ability to trigger sound, videos, or custom messages. If you're Twitch affiliate or partner, you can customize the bits cost for each alert button. Okay, yeah, we get some marketing stuff about the extension. Install the extension on Twitch. Now, I'm pretty sure I can do that without doxing myself. This is my dashboard right now.
Speech main landmark sound created by button install.
I will install it.
Modal. Clickable. Configure your graphic sound alerts. Heading level 3 added by sound alert. You must configure this for your viewers. Once that frame heading level 3 welcome unlabeled heading go to the sound alerts
dashboard. Go to the sound alerts dashboard to configure your
link
sound
button
alerts.
open dashboard.
Yeah, do it. We just
Home
came from
sound
there.
alerts.
Sure.
Link button login with Twitch by login. List clickable button out of list clickable what's new. The link button up button I button new. Your sound alerts 2025.
Link
recap. Button.
Yeah,
Heading level 1 dashboard. Link activity feed. Link button arrow up right from clickable checkbox not clickable clickable button volume up. Clickable checkbox not checked.
So yeah.
Button sync. Profile changer heading level button extension. Button channel button tipping.
We have all
status
the
heading
things
level
right
trending.
now.
Introduce stay in
Be,
touch. We are here to help.
Go.
Introducing the official sound alerts stream deck plugin heading level 4
They have
link.
a stream deck plugin which we cannot currently use. See also earlier this stream.
No next heading.
Very cool.
Link,
so
link
this
heading
is
level 4 introducing
now
the
done.
configure your extension
this.
dialog. Link learn more about out of frame blank. Out of frame
And
button
I think
later.
I still
Menu button collapsed submenu activate.
need to set this
Set as component 1 of 5.
as where I would like it to be. I don't really use any extensions
Set as
right
component
now.
2 of 5. Set as overlay 1 3 of 5. Set as panel 1 4 of 5.
1.
And
So
menu
now
button
it's in one
collapsed
of our
submenu
panels. You can now
out of menu
trigger
blank.
sound alerts
Clickable dialog.
in
Clickable.
that
You are
panel.
replacing an active.
You
You
are
are replacing an active
an
blank.
active extension.
Heading
What are
level
we
performing this
replacing?
action will cause heading level 5. You are replacing an active extension. Performing this action will cause the following extension to be deactivated. Tangerine Tanja interaction.
Oh, that will kill Tanja.
This
Okay,
extension
don't
is
put it
bits in
there.
the cancel
Let's
button.
not kill
Alert
Tanja. We're
urgent.
going to cover
You urge
that
heading
next.
level
Let's
2
see if we can
attention.
put it somewhere
Please verify
else.
your
Attention,
identity.
Please verify your identity. No, I don't want to.
Verify identity. Dismiss alert button. Ops 32 38 38 home sound alerts document.
That's
38 extensions button
Yeah,
button
dismiss.
38
There we go.
extension main landmark sound alerts uninstall extension screenshot
let's
graphic
put it
extension
somewhere
extend
else
no
then.
next
Where's
button
the
extend
activate
uninstall
button?
button
Gone.
viewer rewards button settings button moderation button main create link config button link configure
configure.
38 extensions
Okay.
clickable close button frame open
we
dashboard
will
no next button
act-
close no previous button graphic sound alert heading level 3 configure the frame unlabeled graph heading level 3 go to this visited link but link learn more about out of frame blank frame visited link button open dashboard sound alerts dashboard list with 8 items
We'll go
button
here again.
dashboard heading level
not
link
really sure why we
activity
have to
link
do
button
this
arrow
again.
click
I thought we've
clickable
already done
eyes
this,
clickable
but
for same
apparently
paid
not.
extension button channel points button extension but heading level 5 profile changer button button but click heading level 5 status everything okay
Everything
have fun
okay.
heading
Have
level 5
fun.
trending
Thank
link
you.
more alert
Goodbye.
extension
So-
configuration dial link learn more about sound out of frame blank frame visit go to heading unlabeled out of frame heading level 3 sound graphic sound button heading level 2 heading left heading button close clickable navigation landmark button
Yeah, we're good to go.
tab selected
Okay,
my
so
extensions installed heading
this
level 5
should-
link manage permission graphic latest file link heading component menu button link configure menu button
Oh,
collapse
like
submit
this.
sound
Okay,
alerts
so
heading
sound
level
alerts, we
component
go
panel
here.
overlay
Right
mobile
now it's
menu button collapse
it's
submit
nowhere. Let's put it somewhere else.
activate menu button it collapsed set as component 2 set as overlay
Set
1 set as
as-
add as a new panel 5 of
So
6
add as a new panel.
extension
Yeah, let's do
installation
that.
authorization clickable extension installation the extension sound alerts is now active on slot extension panel 2
Very good.
you can manage permit button done
Done. And
38
now we have a new
extensions
extension.
navigate to
that we
38
can use
extensions
for sound
clickable
alerts.
extensions main landmark button deactivate
I have found for accessibility, these generally do tend to work best in panels. If you put them as components, they show up in the player and they're a little bit hard to find for screen reader users in particular. I'm not sure how this changes on mobile, but on the desktop, it generally isn't a great experience to stick them on the components. I have
Streamlabs
found.
plugin for ops add alerts widget the Node.1 monet Streamlabs plugin for the Node.1 monetization platform for creators and their fans home sound alerts document
Okay, so we have
Select the
done
sound
that.
alerts
Select
extension
the sound
position.
alerts extension
Speech mode off.
position. Yeah, we've done that. Choose a slot to activate. Yeah, we've done that too. Make sure you have added the correct extension panel below your stream. Yeah, we did that. We are all good. Choose a slot. Yeah, we've done all this stuff. We're good to go. Your extension slot are full. Click to replace with sound alerts. Yep. We're good. Next. What else can we do here? Okay, we did the browser, so let's go with the manage alerts. Your setup is complete. Start receiving your first alerts now. Skeleton shield raw. Okay. Can we play these and like try them out?
Speech clickable far heart button. I see null account but click far heart button. Alert success. Favorite added.
Oh, that's a favorite button. Okay, so
Speech mode off.
to get a thing to favorite, you press the FA heart button, the FA heart button. Very helpful. There's also a plus. And then these are the actual things. I guess these are the things. Like skeleton key, or if I click the image, does it play them? No.
Click up button, clickable, free graphic.
So that's the only alt
Speech mode
text
off.
we get. Lizard. This is lizard. See that? Lizard is amazing. Look at lizard.
Speed clickable lizard.
Lizard
Clickable
is
button,
fucking
clickable.
amazing.
Clickable button far heart button far plus. Link browse library button back. Link browse library. Link copyright 20. Link browse library.
Okay, we get to go to the library next. Let's have a look what the library gives us.
Library heading no previous navigation land. Speech mode off.
So we can look for a bunch of things. Uploads, favorites, we can create things, we can search for sounds. It's funny because they still call it search sounds. I'm pretty sure it does more than sounds these days. Let's look at the most popular right now, because that's a button you can press, most popular. And trending is apparently jump scare, raid, anime, lizard, hydrate, hello, fart, money, cat, ooh. All right, they got filters.
Speech mode file type
Filters
button.
are
File type.
unlike
Button video length.
unlabeled
Button video
You got
length.
can set a
Button
video, you
short
can set
under button
length.
medium. Button short under 2 seconds. Button medium 2 button long tags. Button movies and TV. Buttons button mood button happy. Button party. Button arrow left.
I know, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was pretty sure, and a lot of the times actually, FA doesn't even have any alt text at all. So it's funny that this one actually does. Like I didn't recognize that as Font Awesome. The funny thing here is that these buttons aren't actually buttons; they're checkboxes. So you can press one of these buttons, and the tricky bit with these is that you can't always know if a button is one selection only or multiple. Usually the way this works visually is you can see a check mark showing up on the buttons, or it turns a different color indicating that it's now selected. We don't get that information as screen reader users, so we sort of just have to remember what we clicked and check if multiple things are being honored. I don't think in this case
Button arrow right.
it only does one at a time.
Clickable
but
graphic money.
We don't really
Clickable
know.
26.6. Clickable 14. Clickable money. Clickable button far heart. Button far. Clickable graphic Thurston
But
Waffles
yeah,
cat
you
meme.
can click all of these. Nothing is really happening. Thurston Waffles cat meme.
Clickable button far heart.
And you got an FAR heart. I'm guessing it's the red heart from
Button
Awesome.
plus.
And then you got a plus.
0 slide
The
clickable
heart
graphic start
is
digging in
a
the yo butt.
favorite. I'm not entirely sure
Out of slide
what that
clickable button
plus
plus.
does. Maybe it adds it to your extension.
0 slide clickable graphic start
Start
digging in the yo butt.
in your butt.
Clickable 7.93. Clickable 6. Clickable graphic. Clickable 6. Clickable start dig. Clickable button.
Start digging in your butt, twin.
Yeah, that's an alert you can half play.
Button far plus.
We can press the plus button. I'm sure it does something very important.
Out of
and
slide
we've
1
done
slide
that now.
clickable graphic Dexter. Clickable
Here's a
7.61K.
Dexter one,
Clickable 20.
apparently.
Clickable Dexter.
Copyright. Copyright.
Clickable button far plus. Out of slide clickable
Yeah.
7 point.
This is a
Speech mode
soundboard.
off.
The idea of these is that you can now add them to an extension, and then viewers can press these buttons on their screen to get this to play while you're trying to do your work. And that's funny. And makes things more interactive. Let's do one more, just to learn. Of course, the next one is not playing. It's a shame. It was a fart. Hello, motherfucker. Okay, so funnily enough, these don't play when you press enter on them. Interesting. Right? I love it. Love it. Love it so much.
Speed graphic. Far graph far art far graphic. Far graphic. Sadi clickable Russian. Clickable Spanish. Speech mode off.
Well, yeah, that's sound alerts. I'm sure there's a lot of things we have not covered. You're responsible for the media that is played on your broadcast. Yeah, that's kind of mean. So yeah, when we clicked a bunch of these different things, obviously little widgets and then pop-ups picked up. There's one we're still having here for the lizard one we pressed. And we can add stuff to our profiles. I think you can have multiple profiles. There's also a bunch of buttons here. And I'm sure they do different cool things. Now the tricky bit, of course, was that... What's this do? Was that... What's this? Finding the media you need can be easy when you utilize our search and filter functions. Yeah, we got so many
button.
little banners
Library.
that
Button
tell us
continue
what to do
for the
and
best
what not
clickable
to do.
bullet.
It's very fun.
Clickable button clickable graphic Titanic clickable Russian. Clickable Spanish. Clickable Russian.
But yeah,
button unavailable tipping.
is this accessible? Kinda. So there's a lot of buttons. I'm sure we've only touched like the smallest bits you could use for this. So far all the like overlays
Speech
and
mode
alerts and things that we've seen have not been accessible. Don't worry. Like there are absolutely tools that are more accessible that will let you do that. I mean, there's also people that can make these things for you and talk to you and sort of figure out what you want to do with these kinds of things. That's honestly the best advice I can give you, is find someone who can help you with these things. Not because it's not accessible, just because everyone is good at something. Someone is a great graphic designer, someone who's not me. So if they want to design graphics for me, you know, and make some money doing that, that's fair. That's, you know, what they are paid for, and I'll do what I'm being paid for, which is talk about accessibility on stream and off stream. If you do want to do it yourself, you can do that too. Like you have many options to do that. You can go to things like Nerd or Die, which will come up at some point in these streams, that just sells pre-made icon packs. You can go to, I believe, Stream Ninja, I think it's called, that also does that. There's a number of places you can go to get ready-made things that you can just put into your OBS. You might still need some visual assistance to make sure it all lines up correctly, make sure your camera is not too small or too big for the camera, like webcam sizer that's around it. Makes it look a little bit more fancy. But you can still essentially do whatever you want to do with these things and make it be accessible. Can you work with tools like this that essentially do it all for you interactively? I don't know yet. Like, there's a bunch we haven't looked at yet. There's also bots that do it. Firebot can technically do all this too, and I'm sure there's Firebot themes you can get that you can stick on that overlay and have it do it. There's all sorts of ways you could do this, and we're not even remotely done yet. So, yeah, it might be accessible. It may very well not be. I don't know yet. I'm not sure how long I'm going to make these streams, because they're going to be very sort of samey, and I don't want to make it like a 4-hour stream of doing the same thing over and over. So I think I'll actually call it soon, but let's do one more tool just to look at something else. Sound, I feel Sound Alerts is kind of done at this point. Until, you know, we come across something that's really things. What I will do also in my free time between these streams is look into the bits we haven't covered on stream. For example, you know, we haven't really looked into the alerts and overlays of Sound Alerts. I'm sure they have them, and it's probably behind one of these unlabeled buttons we didn't press yet. I will press those, and I will look into what they do, and then if they are really accessible, I'll come back to them in the next stream. But for now, Sound Alerts is done. The next one I want to look at is this one. Streamloots. So Streamloots I myself use on Xerxes. Streamloots is kind of interesting in that it's... Yeah, good question, Molitvan. Molitvan essentially saying is when they went blind, they stopped content creation because how can they get a logo, profile picture, and what do you put on screen when you're just talking and you don't want your face in view? Number of things you could do there, and it's all something you would talk with a graphic designer about, or you'd find an icon pack for, like a PFP. If you don't want your face in there, that makes it easier actually, because it doesn't need to actually be a picture. You can literally just make an avatar or have someone make an avatar for you, essentially do the VTuber thing. And you can even have it so that a clever bit of animation makes the mouth move as you do. That is, again, something you'd often see in VTubers, but it doesn't have to be a VTuber thing. You can absolutely just have that be a random avatar that looks kind of humanish, and you don't have to do the whole affected anime voice and go like super squeaky. That's not necessary, but you can have that kind of vibe going if that's the thing you're going for. A logo, again, a logo isn't necessarily 100% visual, and a logo is embodying a concept that you are essentially like standing for. Like the logo for this stream is sort of like an eye symbol with a slash through it, like a prohibited essentially thing through it. It's like I see null, can't see. And Xerxex has a shield with the Xerx Guild on the shield, and I think it's like a helmet. I forget what it is exactly, but it's like a whole like medieval adventurers guild kind of thing, because I was very much into the whole World of Warcraft and Hearthstone thing when I made that. And I didn't make those images, somebody else did. The shield is made by a fellow streamer, and then some of the other stuff we did for this channel in particular were made by someone who's in the accessibility community as well. So yeah, it's really other people, I generally think, make these kinds of things. And if you don't want to do that, you just find a pack somewhere that you're happy with. And that's where you're going to have to get someone to describe them to you, or use AI to get those descriptions. And I would recommend using several AIs differently so you can get different descriptions, and you can put them next to each other to make sure how much is being bullshitted to you. That's a fun one. Yeah. Molitvan is saying, how do I make the branding blind enough to indicate that you are blind, but not so blind that it's like literally all you do, and the only thing you do is being blind? I have not found that balance yet myself. My naming, my branding for the YouTube channel is Viewpoint Unseen, which is a site-related pun, but it's also kind of true in the sense that I want to be the viewpoint that is ignored a lot of the time. People that don't, like I said just now, streamers that use screen readers were not meant to get a look at that dashboard for sound alerts. Otherwise, they would have made it better. So that's the viewpoint I'm now showing off, the viewpoint they hadn't considered. And that's why I call myself Viewpoint Unseen on YouTube. I see null as a joke. That's just because it started out as the hacking channel, and I see null works in that context. But yeah, I feel personally that those names are blind enough to indicate there is some kind of vision thing going on, but I'm not calling myself the Blind Pro or something like that, which I have seen people do, and it's, to me, very cringe. Like, it's not something I would do. Where that balance is hard. I honestly, I shrug a little bit when I see like a braille or a blindness rated pun in like a name for something. I always feel like, did you really have to? The best one in that I still feel is the trisite.com website. It's like a magnifier solutions engineering company that makes magnifiers, and their website is literally called trisite.com, and I find it so funny that that's the name, because you're like, hey, have you tried Sight? The whole blindness thing, like, I know it's not really working. Have you tried Sight to fix it? It's a fantastic branding. I love it. But yeah, that is really difficult to find a good balance in, I feel, as well, because that sort of lines up also with what I said yesterday. If you're a blind streamer, your main audience is unfortunately going to be blind people, and I wish it was different. I really don't want to be necessarily always talking to blind people. Not that blind people are bad, it's just not necessarily all my content is really geared towards that demographic. But yeah, that's unfortunately just, you are part of a community that people consider very secular. Like, people think blind people don't talk to non-blind people. Like, they don't do non-blind people things. They stay within their blind bubble and they do blind people things. And when you stream gaming like this, you're already being Jesus because people don't think blind people can play video games. So you are now in a place where if someone like lands on your page, you need to sort of tell them, hey, I'm a blind streamer, because they don't read. I have very often gotten questions about from viewers coming in not realizing I was blind, both on this channel and the other one. It's in the panels, but people don't read. But yeah, you also don't want to do the thing where you just have a black screen and no one knows what you're doing because you just hear the audio of the game, because that's fun for like 5 minutes. That might actually be a really cool redeem. They just turned the game display off for a bit. I'll have to think about that. But that is a way to sort of impress upon people that alienness of being in that different world more than I guess they already are. And it's really tricky to find a good balance. I'm still looking for it myself, honestly. That is hard. Like, accessibility there is precious little information out there about these kinds of things. And that really is why Icy Null was born. I want to make sure that the information is out there for people to reference.
Speech mode talk.
That's also why these streams get archived to YouTube and the gaming ones don't, generally, unless there's something really interesting. I might do yesterday's Diablo stream on YouTube, for example. But yeah, this really are meant to be informative streams, and therefore here for blind people and for non-blind people. Right now we're looking at Streamloots. It says the #1 monetization tool for streamers. So the concept of Streamloots is kind of cool. Basically, you get cards that have certain actions on them. It's anywhere from like, play without one hand, turn your screen off, don't look at your keyboard, things like that. Or it can be very game specific things like, unequip your weapon, or on Sea of Thieves, sink your ship, or jump off the boat, or something like that. Things of that nature. And then people pay money to buy essentially card packs from your that's a really good point, Matt Campos. I'll respond to that in a second. But yeah, you buy card packs, kind of like you buy card packs of Pokemon cards or Hearthstone cards, whatever. And they're going to have cards in them that they can play to make the streamer do things or hear things. You can also trigger sounds that way, or animations, all sorts of things. And it can be really fun to, you never know what you're going to get. It's a bit loot boxy, but just for interactions on stream. And it can be a fun way to support the streamer. And it's very low thresholds. Like, I think it's like $2 or $3 for like 5 cards or 10 cards. And you can even give away like alert codes that people can use for free cards so they can try it out. So it's pretty fun. Like, it's, again, very much aimed to monetize the stream. They say that right there on the website as well. And if you don't want to pay for streams or for content, then this is not for you. But if you do want to do that, you want to like give a stream some money while also becoming sort of a participant within the stream, then this is a way to do that. Crowd control is kind of too, but it's a lot more gaming focused, and I think it's a lot more invasive because it runs on your own computer, while this is all cloud based. So yeah, that's kind of what Streamloots is. I remember it being relatively okay accessibility wise, but I really haven't looked for a few years. So let's see. It says have the greatest moments with your audience. Join now for free. Let's do that. What Matt Campo said was that the dilemma that blind people have in regards to how much that what should be part of their branding is similar to what queer and trans content creators struggle with. They have that same problem where they want it to be part of their branding, part of their content, but not the whole entire thing. And yeah, I feel that. I think it's very similar.
Speed heading level 2, turn every...
I'll be the first to admit that I'm not very familiar with a lot of streamers that have that be part of their brand. I should probably work on that. But yeah, as of right now, I just don't really have a lot of examples to really pull from where that's concerned. Okay, I've
Speech-
pressed
speech
the
mode.
join
What is
button.
Stream
Nothing
Loots?
really
The
appears
node
to
dot-
be happening that screen readers can detect, so we'll have to find
What
where
is-
the
what is-
pop-up went.
Mirror menu button. Apps.
There's a YouTube video.
node dot-
We'll
learn
skip
more.
that for
Learn
now.
more
There's a
link.
couple of learn mores. We'll not
Learn
look
more.
at
Login
those
with
right
Twitch link.
now.
Login with YouTube
And
link.
then
Log-
here's the pop-up.
link heading level
Somewhere
1 ready
middle
to
of the
speech
page,
mode
you
off.
get ready to transform your stream. Join 100,000 creators monetizing their passion. Again, very, 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 very much emphasis on the monetization. This is a tool for streamers to get money out of viewers. That's literally what it's for. It's looks a little gross when you see it like this, all black and white, but streamers, a lot of streamers do this to make a living. Like, they need money to not die. And this is a tool that lets them do that. So I really don't hate them for being so upfront about this. If you want to pay streamers and you don't want to just dump money in like a PayPal, this is a really fun way to do that. All right, well, we are logged in. For some reason, we can search for a
Speech mode.
streamer as the very
Clickable
first
graphic
thing. I'm
ignore.
not sure what that's all about.
0.
We are on our own
Graphic
page
yellow
right
cartoon
now.
coin
But
with
okay,
Stream
we have a
Loots.
yellow cartoon coin with Streamloots logo. So that's a pretty good alt
Speech mode
text.
off.
Not bad. Create your own Streamloots page and start connecting with your community and monetizing your content. Start now, it's free. You don't have any cards to play. Get your first pack by going to the, so this is where you would add your favorite streamers to your dashboard specifically. And then you can buy things here. I think you do log in as a viewer to this as well. And I think that's one of the main issues I have with tools like this, Streamloots, but other ones as well. It takes you kind of away from the Twitch interface. Like, you have to go to a whole entire different page to buy these card packs and then play them. I don't currently remember if you can do most, if not all of that, from an extension. Maybe you can. I don't necessarily know for sure. But when I used this back in 2023, you couldn't. You had to go to a different tab, get your packs, and then you would click one of the cards to play it, and then it would play on the stream that you're currently no longer looking at because you're in a different tab. So that is a little like high threshold for a viewer, I think. They essentially have to leave your tab to go buy you stuff. Maybe they fixed that. Maybe you can now just do that from an extension. We'll have to see as they set this up for us. Let's see. This is how the community uses, yeah, you can add a reminder to configure it. What do you want? What is this? This is how the community uses us. Okay. Okay, there's a link, static, SVG. The Swedes live. Card played. Okay, so we have some kind of weird dashboard going on. Welcome, Icino. Hello. English or Castellano? How will you use Streamloots? Viewer, streamer. So I'm a streamer, so I'll set this to streamer. Or both. Yeah, I can do both. Where are you from? Okay, it's already set to the Netherlands. That's correct. And then we have a checkbox that says, I accept the terms of service. Looks pretty good so far. We'll check that. There's also a, I would like to receive Streamloots news. We don't want that, so we're not going to turn that one on, but we will turn on this one. The I accept. And we will continue and go to the next step, whatever it is. There's also a view simplified privacy policy button. I like that. That's good. Okay, we're now on the next step. It says nothing. Hang on.
Speech mode beeps. Button watch message pick date clickable month select date pick you can add it's better to save the date. Button watch marathon vid save the date. It's better to configure
Streamloots on your computer.
You can add a reminder
to configure it later. I'm
speech
thinking
mode
they
off.
assume I'm on a phone.
Speech closed task name with
Am I
bookmark reopen new
maximized
tabs
right now?
maximize
Probably
X.
not. Let's fix
Streamloots
that.
the node.1
Here
month.
we go.
Visited links.
I do hope that when my screen is minimized like that, it doesn't necessarily mess with the viewer one on OBS too much, because if it does, people should
Speech
really be
mode off.
telling me that that's happening. I can fix it if I know about it. Let's see. Yeah, so it's better to say configure Streamlabs on your computer. You can add a reminder. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to do it now. What do you want? My birthday? Oh, this is a reminder. Okay. I want to configure it now. Yes, I do want to configure it now. Okay, what do you want? How accessible is this? Choose a module to get started. Okay, so it popped up a little onboarding. You can activate the other ones later. Okay, now let's see what you got. We have cards module, which is currently off. We'll turn it on. We've just turned it on. Select your first collection. Okay. So you can search through this. Choose a theme. Themed Streamlabs originals. So what do you got? You got memes. Memes are something that brighten your days, and we'll all know about them. So why don't we redeem a few memes during the stream? Yeah, that's fun. Or we have Streamlabs Essentials. I think that has like things like stretch or kind of like the alerts. Just chatting. A collection of streamers who focus on talking about different topics and having a variety of interactions with their community. Let's do that one. Select. So we selected a collection of cards. It says, let's optimize your collection based on your community size. How many average viewers do you have? Not that many. 1 to 25. Yes, very much that. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to get more people in to make me feel better about myself. It says streamers with this amount of viewers earn between 45 euros and 323 euros on average in their first month. Now, isn't that nice? This is your initial collection. Yeah, recommended price per pack, €1.99. Both card collections and price packs are fully customizable once you finish the last step. Okay, yeah, sure, go for it. $1.99 sounds great. Let's do it. Next. Okay, so now we need to set up yet another thing. Alerts are how you connect. Copy the link below, then select the browser source and set it blah, 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 blah. Paste the link into your own thing. Click to show URL. So funnily enough, you don't need to do that for screen readers. It looks like it's already there. We can also just press the copy button too. Oh, well, that's not great. Now everyone can see the URL. Click on a card to test if everything is set up and works perfectly. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Let's add this real quick. Yet another browser source. Streamlabs, I see no. There we go. Put the link here and we'll put it as, again, we'll make it full width and full size like we did for the other one. Oh, shoot.
Speech zoom 50 zoom and com scroll graph stream proper filter interact refresh menu bar. Status bar. Scenes window. Sources with scenes stat menu group interact filters but properties but note filters but prop stream graph scroll bar.
We can always see
nope system collapse zoom out but 53 zoom and but combo box scroll bar 0. Tab.
Okay,
Tab.
So. Oh.
Oh, line feed.
Do that. Okay, here we go.
Combo box scale to window collapse zoom and button 53 zoom out but 50 zoom combo scroll bar graphic Streamlabs properties button open source Streamlabs IC null.
Yeah.
Text left click audio mixer win sources Streamlabs stream ops 32 point scenes window list IC sources window list
yeah, Streamlabs IC null. Let's right
click ops 32.0 point discard button net cancel button save button enter
save
properties
there
for
we go. Okay.
Default grouping.
So we
local
have
file
it now.
checkbox
We
not
just need
checked.
to move it
Edit
down in the sequence again. Otherwise, we won't see
toolbar.
me or the browser
Sources window.
anymore. So we'll fix that real
no
quick.
objects inside list. Streamlabs list toolbar. Add remove properties. Move up button. Move down button. Move button. Left click. Sound charity. Can.
So now we can go back to this page we were
the
on
Node.1
here, and then there's a
monetization.
card we can press to
Speech mode off.
test if it works. There's a let's play. There's an extra hour. So let's try one of these. Let's try the let's play. Now the thing about this is
IC_null wants you to play a video game in the next stream. They suggest test.
Yeah, there you go. So it plays TTS, so you can see what the cart was that was being played. You can catch these with Firebot as well and things like that, so you can have like a little TTS thing that tells you what it was. In this case, the cart had one built in, so we were good. Last step. Essentially, the cart told me to go play a video game next stream. We'll do that on next Wednesday, and it'll be Grand Theft Auto 5. So if you guys want to see me play that, and see me, essentially crash my car off a bridge or something, then definitely tune in for the Zersiak stream on Wednesday. Well done, this will be your personal dashboard from now on, where you can deactivate Streamloots module. Streamloots only charges a small fee per transaction that helps us to keep developing new solutions for creators like you. Dive into the Streamloots and turn your passion into profit. Again, money, 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 money. Let's start, and we are done with the tools for today, I think. This has been super fun, but I think we're done for about the week. Next week, on Saturday, I will probably look into some more OBS things, because we've seen a couple things show up that might be fun to look up on OBS. As well as maybe a couple of the things we didn't cover today, like maybe the alerts side of sound alerts a bit more, and a couple of other tools that I still have in my list. I have a large list of things, so we have plenty of things to look at.
Speech mode off. Speech mode off.
Wednesday is going to be GTA 5 on the Zersiak channel. Friday is going to be probably Diablo or... Heck, things keep changing. There might be something else to play by then. We'll have to see. Diablo, or otherwise I might get back to RimWorld. That's been a fun game as well. So we'll see. For now, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Let me see. Do we have people enough to really bother with a raid? Diablo went pretty good. It was a lot of fun. We do have a bunch of people. Cool. Diablo was pretty fun. It took me a while to figure out how the mod worked, but it was a pretty interesting moment where the Staff of Mana, it took me a while to figure out that the Staff of Mana, hold on to your butt, gives you mana, and it's not a weapon. So there is, I'm sure, not yet a clip, but there should be a clip of me violently firing the Staff of Mana at an incoming skeleton. But once I figured it out, it was pretty fun. And yeah, I intend to play it more often. We do have the Hellfire extension as well, so there was a lot of fun happening there. Is there anyone online that's currently doing something along these lines? I don't really see anyone. That's a shame. Well, that's another thing I'm going to have to work on, get more streamers that do these kinds of things so I can raid out to people. For now, though, this has been me. I'm going to drink some water because I'm thirsty. You guys have a fantastic time with your rest of your weekend. I hope this was helpful and useful. There will be more stream tools next week. And yeah, in the meantime, there's a bunch of other things happening as well. I want to do some screen reader tutorial things. I want to do a bunch of like reviews for physical hardware products that I have kicking around my studio here that I still haven't gotten a chance to look at. That'll be in the Viewpoint Unseen YouTube channel if you're interested in how GoXLR alternatives or Stream Deck or other such things work from a brightness perspective. Definitely hit that as subscribe. I know, hit the notification bell, hit the like, all that silly stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Have a good night. I'll see you